Hey guys, Mr. Tolly. I'm going to do a real quick, well, it's going to seem quick. I have this leather, and I had a full side of it. I'm also working on a couple of messenger bags using this leather. It's really nice and soft. It takes some marks. This is one of the scraps off of the side. And I need something to carry my laptop in. So since it's for me, I don't care about any marks on it or anything, because it just doesn't make any difference to me. But I'll be sewing it on my machine, even though it is kind of heavy leather, because it'll handle it. I'll put a zipper on the top, but it's pretty much just going to make this about as simple as it gets. I took some measurements and I cut out a piece this size. I may decide to line this. I haven't decided yet. May put a lining in it, may not. If I do, I will glue it around the edges, stick it in there, and then stitch it, and then we'll send it on its way. But that's the size, so I'm going to cut out a second piece. And there we go. I am going to use something to round off the bottom corners. And I don't know what yet. My bad habit. See if that makes a nice... I don't want too much rounded off. And I think that's going to be pretty good, actually. So, what I'm going to do is lay the two pieces together, insides to insides, and kind of match them up a little bit. At the top, I will have a little bit of fudge room. It'll be installing a zipper. I think we're pretty good right here. So, and I think that the snuff can might just be the little bit of radius that I need down here. I think that'll be good. So I don't use any of those fancy French curves or what have yous. I use stuff that I've got sitting around. You've seen before I've used just some, I've got an assortment of washers in my, at my bench. On the messenger bag, I used the lid of a peanut butter jar. One of my jars that I keep bullets in over my reloading bench. And just like that, I'm going to go ahead and cut these corners out. Alrighty, I'm back. Yep, my back cut. I went ahead and I sewed in the zipper already, because I'm just going to use the zipper closure. I'm not going to line it. And I went ahead and I made a handle. I was toying around with different ways to make handles, and I came up with this one. Thought this would work out okay. So now I'm going to show you how I did it. Started with that. And that is, try to measure from the right end here, 1 foot long. I'm just going to fold it in half and stitch it. To do that, I'm going to use some of this fancy stuff. because I don't want to run glue. So I'm just going to run a line of this Tanner's Bond tape. It's a double stick tape. I'll get her stuck down on the leather. Peel off the backing. Stick the two sides together. And sew this bad boy up. I'm not getting fancy with it. I'm not going to try to turn it out or anything, because sometimes that stuff's just kind of pointless to do. I don't feel like working that hard. Remember, this is just for me. If this was for a customer, I would probably, well, I'd still use the tape, but I would probably run a stitch line down the top of the handle, which I didn't do here because I don't want to. I'm kind of playing. I haven't done a lot of these kind of bags before, so I'm kind of learning a little as I go here. And that's all there is to it. Hate when it does that. I'll just start at one end. Stick it down. Nothing too fancy. Just sticking it down like that. I'll cut you back on when we go over to the machine. All set to run my stitch. That's all there is to it. Alrighty, I measured for my holes on here. I punched my holes in my handle. And, you know, keeping in mind this bag is just for me. So, and it's the first one of these I've ever done. So I want to make sure I kind of do an okay job here. I want to see how everything's going to lay out and how it's going to work out for me. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's not going to be perfect, so don't get on me about that. It's going to be decent though. It's kind of a learning experience for me. I punched my holes in my handle. I laid it in here. The bottom of the strap is 1.5 inches down from the top. So I'm just using a double cap rivet. And I know somebody out there is going to say, oh, those double cap rivets are crap. If you use the proper size, I have never ever had one come loose. So, if all you're going to do is give me a hard time about it, don't bother. Because I don't care. Get a piece of leather under there so I'm not punching into my cutting mat. Alrighty, I had my rivets set out here. What did I do with them? I don't exactly know, but I'll find them. Alright. And the nice thing, I'm not using double cap, I'm using a single cap, so the posts don't have a cap on them. They don't need it. Take my handle. Remember, I put a clip on here to remember which end is which, because the holes never quite seem to be in the right place. Now, the people that are going to get all huffy about the double cap rivets, the biggest thing you need to know about a double cap, or these cap rivets, is you have to have the right size. These are going through a single ply of a 6 to 7 ounce leather, and then they're going through this 2 to 3 ounce, the double ply of the 2 to 3. So I need about a 3/8 inch double cap, or cap rivet. 1/4 inch, I think. I think these are 1/4 inch. I'd have to look to make sure. They should be 1/4 inch. But your caps will set on there and they kind of pop on, and they'll stay on nice. So you can go ahead and set. This is the setter. It's dished on the top so that it doesn't flatten out the cap. And there you go. That's all there is to it. We'll do the other side real quick. I had started out, I was only going to use 2 rivets on each handle, but changed my mind. 4 of them seemed better, or it looked better with these handles. Never made handles before, so I thought I'd try it this way. A couple other different ones that I've been thinking about and looking at. We may try something different in the future. For the time being, this is the way I went. Push your caps on. Just like that. Make sure I got the dished end against the head. And there we go. Cap rivets. Nice handle to hold on to while you're carrying your laptop. Well, here it is. My laptop case. It came out okay. I discovered I have a great deal of learning to do when it comes to using a machine to do the stitching and on how I build things. This fits my laptop, or this particular laptop. It fits perfectly in there. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a bear to get in and out. Now, this is an older laptop, so it shouldn't be a big deal with my new one, or my newer one. It's much thinner. But nonetheless, it still fits in. We can zip it up. I did put rivets up here in the corners, which might have been a mistake. I think that's part of what added to the difficulty getting in and out. But it does work, and it does serve its purpose. So as I learn, we'll be doing more videos like this. Hopefully it won't take me too long to learn. It all went together pretty well. I did at the last minute, I decided I wanted to line it, and I've got some lining material, and realized I already had my handles on it. We're already riveted in, which kind of precluded me being able to stitch along the same stitch line that my zipper was in. So I didn't line it. Next time we will. I have enough leather to make another one, so I might just do that. Anyway, that's going to be it for my laptop case. Next one will be better, I'm sure. Just because I'll learn more and I'll know more about making them. And I'll make it just a little bit bigger. So, stay safe and God bless. Thanks for watching, putting up with my baloney. And we'll catch you in the next video.